Look, okay, she sending pics of me before they hit the gram. All night we run them numbers on a fitness ad. This a cricket match, couple day affair with your wife. You think she leaving with my hoodie, told her give it back. Stop off at the hometown, looking like I'm still the man. I see some epitomes of what it's like to stay before the kinfolk. I'm pulling out discipline. Used to front for some pussy, been a minute since. I spent an hour plus crafting up numbers on a fitness ad. This a cricket.
And all of that footage was shot in just the last 2 months. And that's pretty well representative of what my entire year has been. So now that I've got a bit of a breather and I can actually shoot some of my own YouTube content, I figured I'd do that. But I also realized that I haven't really talked too much about Evil Empire, what it is, and if I had, it's probably not been great. So that's what we're gonna do today. It was a few years ago now that Christoph actually told us about his idea for Evil Empire Studios, and when he shot his first video about what his dreams of the space were, it got all of us so stoked to actually move into the space. Now that we're actually here, we've had to do a whole bunch of work to actually make this space usable for us in the middle of winter, and Jesse did an amazing series of videos showing the build out process. Now, since they've done some great content already on the build out process and all of the hopes and dreams for Evil Empire, I'll leave that to those guys. Brandon and I share this container ourselves, and we have a bit of a unique issue. Even though this space is something that we could have never dreamed of having, I sometimes find it hard to picture our shared shipping container as more than just a bit of a storage unit. I basically took a desk and slapped it in front, and I don't feel super creative trying to set up shots in here to make my own YouTube content because, well, it's a little cluttered and just doesn't look great. I'm not able to pull out the quality of work that I feel like I'm up to doing, and well, I think we can finally get around to changing that. How is
completion?
Near completion on
The storage?
the thing that I'm most excited about?
Really? Oh, it's probably still a little bit away. I gotta mud the drywall.
How long is long?
Probably like early next week. I still gotta put the doors in too, seal the floor. I keep thinking there's only one more little thing to do, and then I realize there's like 10 more little things to do.
What are you looking for?
Just a wrench, I need like an adjustable wrench.
This interview's been an epic failure so far. He's pulling a Christoph, looking for tools. Give me some tips on how to build mine out to make it look like an office.
Honestly, Michelle's probably the better person to ask for that because everything I did got completely axed and redesigned by not me.
Yes.
Apparently, you're the person I was supposed to ask. Design choices for the container.
Yes.
Suggestions, recommendations, must-haves.
I'm gonna have to see it.
This is what we're working with.
Oh, all right.
Have you not been in? You've been in.
No, I mean, I've seen it, but I've never taken a good look, you know? The sound is nice. Next up is the first look. Okay, so when you walk into a room, there's always a statement.
Okay.
And so you gotta figure out what that statement is, whether it's by a style, a color, a finish, a smell. Right now, I just get the feeling that there's a lot of gear.
So what is the statement in yours and Christoph's container right now? What's the statement?
We haven't figured it out yet. Our statements clash a little bit, so.
You're speaking such a strong game.
He wanted green walls, and then he wanted blue, so now they're blue-green. And I don't like it, but it's okay, don't tell him.
Well, I've learned two things in chatting with the production power couple, and the first being that you actually need a statement piece when welcoming guests into your office space. And the second being that they can't actually agree on what that thing is themselves, so I feel a little bit better as to where my office currently stands. And well, that leaves me with one other person I can chat with in the studio that can maybe help me out. And he makes internet videos for a living, so Jesse.
Josh!
Jesse, listen, this is the thing I'm trying to figure out is how, now that I have a potential of a cleaner container.
Yes.
And I have potential for space, kind of like this.
Yeah.
I need a space that I can kind of shoot some content in.
Yep.
I need recommendations. Take me through your space and what I should do.
So this space is still a work in progress, and we plan on eventually kind of redoing the whole thing. How would I say this? Like, one of the biggest things I think we did is our desks are on opposite sides of the container, and neither of us have anything behind our desk. So it always feels quite wide and spacious in here. And that was one of the things. To make the space feel big, we didn't want to put like big desks and shelving units all together, because then all you're left with is like a spot for your chair between it. Whereas at least in here, it feels wide all the way to here. I can walk all the way to here and not feel completely cramped. We also have the benefit of a second container, which is a little bit unfair.
You've got that storage there. I'll have mine. So, I mean, really, it's like I have my own thing now, my own storage space. But did filming YouTube videos come in a factor where you put your desks and how you set up?
Yeah.
Because like your background is gonna matter too, right?
So I never like having just one space to film at. So when we were laying this out, I'm kind of imagining, well, I could shoot over here, I could shoot this way, this could be a backdrop, just because I get really bored of things being the same. But one thing we did do is I planned to have my desk right here originally, so that if I wanted to, we could swing the doors open and, you know, have a camera, lights outside, and I could film being at the desk right here without the constraints of space for C-stands and stuff. We don't really do that. We just didn't really end up doing that all that much. Maybe that's because it's winter or because it's dusty, but basically everything is magnetable. So this whole camera mount is magnetable, so I could take this off and I could just be like, boom, overhead shot. And that's pretty darn convenient. You pop that off, put it back to storage, and you got it. I even film from the cameras just mounted to this as well. So if you have the ability to magnet things places, you should do it.
Well, thanks for the tour.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what you do with your space.
Me too, because I don't know what we're doing. All right, so Jesse and Dave put a little more emphasis on the functionality of their space for filming YouTube videos. I mean, it makes sense, that's their main business. I also like the importance that Jesse put on making sure that there's nothing behind his desk, because clearly that's the thing that's making my space feel so much more cramped than anyone else's in Evil Empire. And so I think by balancing what I've learned from Jesse and what I've learned from Michelle and Christoph, it'd be nice to have some kind of a focal point within our container that would maybe mesh Brandon's design choice and whatever mine ends up being. Right now, I don't know what that's going to be, and our storage units aren't quite done yet, so I guess you wait for the next video when I finally move everything that's in here into here. Jesse, I made my first YouTube video in like 6 months.
This is the end of it?
This is the end of it.
Like and subscribe!
The end of this video is brought to you by Jesse going way over the top for one single shot.
Hey, I don't even know if that shot worked. So, I might have gone over the top for no shot. Like and subscribe! Figure out the only mic.
Yeah. Is that good? Is that how YouTube videos are made?